On this episode, I'm joined by someone who's taking sports betting, especially the NFL, to a whole new level. He's built an algorithm that can actually predict the best games to bet on every week and help you make smarter bets to increase your bankroll. We're talking data, spreads, and how you can have a betting edge over Vegas. On this show, I have Phil from CodetheOdds. Phil, how you doing today?
I'm doing great on the Saturday. I'm looking forward to NFL Week 6 tomorrow. How are you, John?
I'm doing great, doing great. Likewise, I'm very excited for the Week 6 slate. What inspired you to crack the code? And if you just don't mind breaking down what algorithm betting is for the viewers that aren't too sure about what algorithm betting is.
Yeah, so if you're not aware what algorithm or modeling is, it's basically taking data and coming up with a math formula for that. The computer does it, but it calculates a formula for that data and how to incorporate weights in the data and come up with a prediction. And that's what my algorithms are based in. They're on Python, which is a coding language. And to answer the other part of your question, it actually came from school inside the classroom. We were doing modeling to predict like basic things in real life, not sports. And I thought, hey, like I've been watching sports my whole life. I know a lot about it. Why don't I take the code that we're using in the class and try and implement it outside of the class into sports? And that's what I did. And now I have algorithms that predict the outcome of multiple sports. And funny story, it actually started. My friend was a D1 lacrosse player, and we first had the idea to make an algorithm to predict lacrosse games for fun, and that's where it started. And then obviously it went into NFL, into baseball. I love the MLB, and also basketball and hockey. And I couldn't be more proud and grateful of what I have today. And just helping the community out, like my friends and family, as well as people on Instagram that I've met, just having more informed decisions. I'm not like encouraging or advising betting right now, but if you do choose to bet, why would you do it without having some sort of data behind it?
Right, right, exactly. And especially without giving too much sauce into the data we put into our algorithm, what kind of, on a light surface level, what kind of data goes into your system and how does it help you predict the best games to bet on as opposed to just picking random games to just bet on? But how does it help you provide the value and pretty much, a good 4 or 5 game slate it helps you predict on?
Yeah, so like I said, there's so many things, so many different pieces of data that you could use, or so many different
Hmm.
metrics that you could use. So it's about literally just finding all of the ones that you think matter and feeding it into the computer, and the computer will tell you, hey, you should weight it like this, based on machine learning, and it basically
Hmm.
helps you out and calculates the weight. But that's just like the objective statistical part of it. There's also a
Right.
subjective part of it. It's like I would say it's 90% statistics and data, but the algorithm is like 10% of just like having ball knowledge and like incorporating your
Right.
own rankings and your own influence into it. Like for example, the algorithm has weighted into it my head coach and my quarterback rankings because that's what
Hmm.
matters. Like
Right.
NFL is different from a lot of sports where head coaching really matters. Like they're calling not just head coaching, but the coordinators and the coaching staffs really
Hmm.
matter. Opposed to baseball, where it's more just variance and the players can any player could hit at any time. In football, the coaching matters. I would argue more than any sport. So I think really
I
having those
agree.
head coach rankings helps me as well as quarterback rankings because the quarterbacks, the field general. If you have a bad quarterback play, like it's hard to win games.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. And then especially when it comes to like coaching and the quarterback, those are two key important factors when it comes to games. I mean, there could be like a heavy hitting team playing against another team, but if the other team has better quarterback and better coaching, they're gonna have that edge over against the power team that's probably coming into that home field. But if you don't mind, I mean, do you have if you don't mind just sharing us, do you put like a full slate into your algorithm? Do you pick and choose? Or how does that work in terms of like the best value to bet on, I guess, from an over, under, or a spread? Like how does like help you pick what would be the best games to get on?
Yeah, so the process just literally consists, and I'll show later in the interview, I'll show like a practice game or I'll show you the
Hmm.
actual algorithm running. So basically, the process is just updating the data throughout the week, which is just
Okay.
as each week goes, there's more, there's more like there's more data, there's more sample, there's
Yeah.
a bigger sample size. So if we update the data every week, we could get more recent and relevant results. So basically, we just update the data every week, and then after that, all I have to do is enter who is playing who, and then a couple of other
Okay.
things such as the weather, because the weather matters too.
Right.
and
I'm sure
then the
injuries it
computer
also
will
takes
give
into
me
that
the
consideration,
results.
right?
Wait, what'd you say?
Injuries. It also takes
Yes,
into
injuries as
injuries.
well. Yes, for
Cool.
sure.
Yeah. In terms of your algorithms, if you don't mind just sharing a recent game or recent slate where the algorithm actually like nailed a prediction where the public or the pros were on the other end of the side, like how did like what's like a good game or a slate that helped you get the edge and kind of just beat the books?
Yeah, so I would say that this season there's been a lot of value on underdogs, like underdogs spread specifically. So last week there was the Titans plus 8.5. They won outright. The week before that there was Cowboys versus Packers. The algorithm had Cowboys plus 7, and they tied, which is a crazy result. Um,
Right.
that week we also had the Giants plus 7. They upset the Chargers. And then earlier in the season, we had the Browns plus 8.5, and they upset the Packers. So the algorithm's finding a lot of value on these underdogs in the NFL. And a point that I wanted to drive home is that Vegas sets these lines based on the public perception. It's not entirely based on an algorithm. They set it based on public perception for the teams. So
Hmm.
sometimes, like if you're going to bet the games, if keyword if you are going to bet the games, you should have some more calculated approach than just gambling randomly. And that's basically
Yeah.
the
Oh.
biggest point I
Yeah.
want to drive behind.
Right. Right. You just don't want to just like, oh, I think they'll win by 3. I'm gonna just take the -3. You know, like
If you're just picking and guessing, like you're gonna choose at 50%, and if you're betting and hitting 50%, you're not gonna win. So
right. Quick question: why is it that underdogs are hitting at a pretty good rate this season? Were you able to kind of figure something out through your algorithm of why that is, or why the underdogs are kind of hitting a little bit more?
I think it's literally just what I said is that public perception on teams is too high.
Okay.
Like the Packers in two of those games that I just mentioned were huge favorites because the public thought the Packers are the best team in the league because they beat the Lions week one probably. Yeah, and then you saw what happened. And then just another
Yeah.
example with the Arizona Cardinals. Let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
Cardinals were favored by 8.5 last week, right? And now they're plus 7.5 this week, just because they had a really bad loss. So that's just telling you that these lines are controlled by public perception. Like the fact that there's that big of a drastic difference, it's just based on the public thought that the Titans were bad and the Cardinals were decent, so they had the Cardinals as huge favorites. And now that the Cardinals lost, they're like way down on the Cardinals. So now that they're plus 7.5 this week, so it's really crazy. You got to find the value.
Yeah, I could definitely see that because I did. I feel like it's kind of like the Giants, right, versus the Saints. I mean, the Giants forgot how to play football, gave the game to the Saints, and they go to MetLife and beat Philly.
Dude, that was crazy. These
Yeah,
underdogs have been coming in on prime time this year.
it's crazy, especially those short week divisional games. They're so 50-50, regardless of who's playing. If like divisional game, it's like so hard to determine who's like going to come out with those.
Yeah. But going back to the algorithm question, I just wanted to give
Hmm.
a piece of advice to anyone that's watching this that might be considering making an algorithm. If
Hmm.
you literally know a lot about NFL, take a piece of paper, sit down in a room, and write down every single thing that you think matters on predicting the outcome of an NFL game. And by the time you're done with that, you should have 20 to 40 things. Like I'm talking about everything, like quarterback play, head coach play, weather, travel, time off, are they off a bye week? All defense, like all any stat, any little piece of evidence. Like my algorithm even accounts for if the grass is turf or real grass because that matters. Like games are
Right.
higher scoring on turf than real glass. Real grass. I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you account for every little thing and then account for it somehow in an algorithm or just even without code, just writing them down, I promise you will be a successful sports bettor. That's a huge gem. If you really do that, you will come out on top.
Really, really
100%.
appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I know nowadays a lot of people just promoting sports gambling. They think they're the sharps. They think they have their own algorithm, but you've been very transparent about your algorithm betting. And now that you came on the show and willing to kind of just give out some sauce to the viewers out here, but what kind of separates from what you have going on as a community to what all the kind of the jokesters kind of have going on, trying to
Oh,
scam people or kind of give out some fake plays?
I'm so glad you said this question. So, true story, me and my friends back in the day, we purchased this guy's plays because he said he had an algorithm and we're like, "Oh, we want to see his results. We want to see if his algorithm does good." So
Hmm.
and it's one of these guys that you see on the internet always run like saying, "I have a lock, you're not going to lose, follow my algorithm." But after seeing his results, he would lose all the time, and he would never show his actual algorithm. So I feel like all of these people that are advertising sports betting, if you pay for their picks, like it's 99% of the time, if you don't find a real sharp, you're gonna get fooled. And it's a really sad thing because they say
Hmm.
the words algorithm and model are so overused. They all say that they have them, but they don't even show screenshots. So it's like it's crazy. I actually show
Right.
screenshots, and I'll take you guys through the model. We'll do a prediction algo game just so you guys can see. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I would
That'd be
just say
sick.
really before you guys buy picks from anybody, really study them. Really study them for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I could definitely see, that's when I go through my Instagram stories. They're like, I have a free lock, kind of just giving out free locks, and it's like you just missed because.
There's no such thing as a lock. For anyone who's watching this that may sports bet, there is no such thing as a lock. Ever. Ever.
Right, right,
Never.
yeah, and Phil, I mean, if you don't mind, if you just want to share your screen and kind of run some, mock algorithms to see how, the viewers can see how it works, so they.
Yes, sir. Let me load it up real quick. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to show what I got here. I show screenshots all the time, but I think this is, besides the YouTube video that I posted, this will be like the first time I'm showing it. So here we go. Um, so here's my algorithm. I'm not showing the actual code, I'm showing the output. So can you see my screen?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this is an example here. This was up from last week, right? Last week the Titans played the Cardinals, and Vegas says that the Cardinals should win by 8.5, right? But after typing in Tennessee versus Arizona up here, you could see our score prediction. My algorithm said that Arizona would win 24-21 roughly, and that they should be 3-point favorites. So
Crazy.
yeah, so like just looking on that, and actually this is from updated stats. This is updated stats. So last week it said -4, but you could
Yeah.
get the point. Like we found value
Yeah.
on the Titans spread here, 100%. So let's do a sample game. I'm a Lions fan, so let's say that the Lions are
Okay.
playing, and you're a Packers fan, right? So should we go with the Packers?
Yeah.
So like let's
Yeah,
say
yeah. Let's do
Detroit
that.
plays Green Bay, right? Team one Detroit away, team two Green Bay home. And are we going to say that the game is on prime time or just a random Sunday game? What should we say?
Let's do prime time.
Okay, so prime time equals true because another gem right here. Prime time games on average are lower scoring than non-prime time games. If you guys didn't know that, now you know. Degrees. What should we say that the weather is? Because the game's at Lambeau, so the weather is going to affect it for sure. So what should we say? It's like a winter game or a summer game, fall game.
Let's do 50. Nice crispy
Okay.
50.
Okay, 50. And we'll say it's clear, or should we do windy, rain, snow?
We could do let's do a rainy game.
All right, so let's say it's rain. So with the click of a button, literally, you can see our prediction right here on this exact game where it would be Lions versus Packers on a primetime game where it's rainy and 50 degrees. The Packers should be favored by 1 point, and the over/under should be around 45.5. Our model predicts a score right here: Green Bay 23 around, Detroit 22.5 around. So it's really a close game here. But let's say the sports books for some reason had Detroit as 4-point favorites or 3-point favorites. You'd be like, hold on. Or if they had the total super low or super high, we'd be like, hold on. So this is how we find our value right here.
Got it. So if it was Detroit minus 3.5, you're taking the Packers underdog because there's more value from what
For
your
sure,
algorithm is
yeah.
telling you.
For sure, because according to my algorithm, the Packers should be favorites by 1 point in this game.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Dude,
so
thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's very key for transparency when it comes to sports betting. People are just probably blindly buying picks or making their own decisions, but the fact that you're able to kind of get on the show your algorithm bet, and be able to kind of inspire viewers to kind of go with you to kind of make better decisions, I really appreciate that because not only people hide their sauce and hide
yeah.
everything, but I really appreciate the transparency there.
Yeah, no problem, John. And for anyone who's watching this that honestly still wants to learn more, if they're skeptical, just literally DM us at CodetheOdds on Instagram, and we'll give you a free week of our slate, so you could. There's no fluff. It's full transparency. I'm not in this just to like make a bunch of money and scam people. Like I want to make relationships with people on Instagram, and I want to help people try and predict games better. So just literally DM me. We'll give you a free week of plays. We give everyone a free week.
Yep, I would have to say, what was the best way that people can kind of get involved, and what can they expect by joining your community? Is it just NFL? Are they able to kind of bet on other sports by going with your community?
Yeah.
What can they expect? Any email newsletters? Kind of, what can they
Yeah,
expect in
so
your
right
community?
now we're very prioritized on NFL, but we also do MLB, NBA, NHL as well. I would say NFL is our best, followed by MLB, which I'm sad that the regular season's over. But NFL is our specialty, I would say, because we hit 51 and 24 on spreads last year, 13 and 5 on spreads this year. Like these are historic rates. And honestly, I know that some of it is good variance, some luck on our part. And I know that I don't think we could hit 70% consistently for the rest of our lives, or else we'd be like
Rich.
billionaires. Um,
Yeah.
but I really think that by subscribing and by at least reaching out to us, you get professional expert opinions and access to one of the best algorithms on earth, as well as our DMs are open. We love to talk with you guys anytime. Any recommendations and just talk sports because we love sports. All of us, at the end of the day, we all watch sports. So like, it's just a great
Right.
thing to bond over and talk about.
I agree. I agree. I feel like if we love sports, we're all our own community as well by enjoying what we love to watch on Sunday,
Absolutely.
especially. Yeah. So for those, like Phil said, go ahead on Instagram, type in Code the Odds, hit him up in the DM, even to let him know that you saw his interview, or even just reach out to him and see how he can help you out. But this is probably the best algorithm betting system that you can probably find out there, especially from a transparency standpoint. So you're just not blindly buying a service, but he can actually help you with free play and kind of just go over sports. So any last words you want to give out, Phil? Thank you so much for this interview.
Yeah, no, I wanted to say thank you so much. And that anyone looking to do this, just watch this interview and really listen because I gave some gems on here. I really think I gave some high level expert advice. So just yeah, take it into this account and message us. Also, go Lions.
Yeah, you're go lie, go Packers. Perfect. Yeah, no, I feel like with the gems you provided here, I think this will also help people make better decisions when it comes to sports betting. So I really appreciate the key that you provided here in this interview.
Yeah, it was a great talk. We should definitely set up another interview in the future. That'd be fun.
We definitely should. No, I think it was a great interview, high level gems, and I think this is probably going to help people increase their bankroll, make better
Sure.
decisions, and definitely working with you, you'll definitely help other people in your community.
For sure. And week 6 is coming up tomorrow. Like I think this is one of the best slates I've seen in a long time. Definitely this year. I think week 6 we could take advantage
Well,
for sure.
let's go. Yep. Go ahead and
Well,
hit up Cody Odds on Instagram in his DMs. He will definitely take care of you. But overall, thank you so much for watching this episode and this interview. Go ahead and hit up Cody Odds on Instagram. Thank you so much and catch you guys next time.
God bless y'all. Thank you.